This is going to be a quick review of area, and I'm going to try to go fast, so you may need to pause the video if you miss something or you need to write something down. Here we go. Area of a parallelogram. I find area of a parallelogram by taking base times height. And I just need to be sure that the base and the height have to be perpendicular, which means that they have to make a right angle. So as I'm looking at this parallelogram down here at the bottom, I cannot use this side labeled 7 feet as my height because it is not forming a right angle with the base. That's not a right angle. So I can see that I'm going to have to use 12 feet as my base, and that this side right here, or that line right there, does form a right angle with the base, and so that will be my height. And so I'm just going to take 12 times 5, and that will give me 60. And then I look at my label and it's feet, so now that I'm doing area, it's going to be square feet. For area of a triangle, all triangles are half of some type of parallelogram, so we do 1/2 of base times height, and again, base and height need to be perpendicular, which means they have to make a right angle. So again, I have to look at this and say there are only two sides here that form, or two lines there that form a right angle, so I have to use that bottom side as my base, and I need to use this dotted line as my height because they form right angles with each other. So I'm going to do 1/2 times 4 times 2, and you could also do 4 times 2 and divide that by 2. So I know that 1/2 times 4 is 2, and times 2 will be 4. And again, I'm going to make this into square inches since I'm dealing with area. When I find area of a trapezoid, I'm going to do base 1 plus base 2. I'm going to multiply that by the height, and I'm going to take half of that, either by dividing by 2 or multiplying by a half. I need to be careful that my bases have to be the two parallel sides, and the height has to again form a right angle with those two bases. So notice here that I can see that this side that's labeled 6 centimeters and this side that's labeled 10 centimeters are the two sides that are parallel to each other. The two sides that are labeled 5 are slanting towards each other, so they're not parallel. Even if that trapezoid was turned, I would use 6 and 10 as my bases, and then I'm going to use 4 as my height because again it forms a right angle with the bases. So I'm going to do 6 plus 10, adding my two bases together equals 16. I need to do 1/2 times 16 times 4. And for me, it's easier to take 1/2 of 16 before I multiply times 4. So I'm going to take 1/2 of 16, which is 8, and multiply that by 4. And so I get 32 square centimeters.